Hey Sagittarius, what's going on? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is King of Wands. King of Wands is a card of action. If you are the King of Wands in this scenario, you can be ready to do something. You can be thinking about doing something. It can also be thinking about your efforts as well. Okay. The position, the energy that I'm seeing you come out in, I'm seeing you be in a position that's very, very giving, where you're definitely ready to hold up your end of things for sure, like actively to ensure that. I mean, this can be a general thing, like overall you feel like you're like that when you enter into something, that you hold up your end of things and that you show up, or this can be a specific exchange. We're gonna zero in and see what this is about. Okay. It's looking like this is about a specific relationship that you have. Has to do with dynamics between you and this person, and it looks like reciprocity as well. This can be about like what's balanced between the two of you. There can be something about your dynamic that you're working out. Even practical stuff that's involved in this. It can go above and beyond that, but so far I'm seeing there be things about values and about sort of the like balance of your relationship with this person. And that can be something that's being figured out too, and something that was being communicated, like that type of thing. Because it may be a different story when you're sort of like on your own with something, but when another person is thrown into the mix, it feels like this is somewhat covering that. Okay. You and this person that you're involved with, I'm seeing you guys be a little bit different from one another. You're coming out as King of, well, we're just saying, if the energies are reversed, then reverse it for you. I'm seeing somebody be in the energy of the King of Wands. I'm seeing another person be in the energy of the Queen of Cups. This can be about your own dynamics, like all within you, the interplay between the two of them, where there are these two parts of you that have to work things out. I'm not talking about another person yet. I'm just talking about you with yourself. Right now you can be working something out within yourself. The interplay between these two dynamics of you. One being the King of Wands. That's the part of you that's going to want to be in charge at times. That's the part of you that's going to want to make decisions. That's the part of you that's going to want to be able to check with yourself and then do something. You don't necessarily want someone else telling you what to do. You want to show up, and you want to show up in the way that you want to. King of Wands is a very like charming, charismatic energy. So it's you just like doing your thing. It's also about authenticity as well, that being important too. Like showing up and being magnetic because you are being so yourself and doing things in your way, and your ability to sort of like guide yourself and discern things yourself. But this is also a card that can be like a very strong individual, strong-minded, not always the most even-tempered, depending on the way that you work it. But it can be like you when you feel passionate, you know, you when you feel decisive, you when it's up to you to figure out what's going on and how things are going to get done, like that type of thing, you know. The King of Wands is seen as a leader, so it's like that aspect of you. Now I'm seeing also we have the Queen of Cups here, and this can be a more sensitive side of yourself. This can be a more like emotionally in tune side of yourself. This can be a part of you that is very sensitive to sort of what's going on, and also wanting to have emotional connection and experience that and also be able to be nurturing, to be able to be loving, to be able to hold space, and to sort of like show up and be attentive emotionally. So you have those two energies. Now, this can also be now something that's playing out between you and another person. If you are the King of Wands, you can see the person, you can see yourself as the person that's more so like, we're gonna do this today, or I think that this is a good idea, or like, let me like do whatever, you know. It can be that more active energy because it is a masculine energy, because it's fire. It's like taking the initiative more often. Now the water energy, all water signs are feminine. This will be more receptive, more like, let me see what's going on and then respond to it. Whereas the King of Wands will be like, let me do something and then others can respond to it. It's like that type of thing. And for those of you that there's a relationship at play here between you and another person, you may be figuring out like what's balanced, what's fair, what are the expectations, what do you need from me, what do I need from you, like how do we make this work? It can be those types of things. And there can be choices that are being made too, like is that working for you? Is that good for you? Am I okay with this? It can be that type of thing. I'm seeing you take it easy. I'm seeing the King of Wands take it easy, if that is you. You could be taking a break. Maybe you want a break. Could be taking care of your mental health, peace of mind. You could be needing to recover, needing to rest. King of Wands can be a very active energy, so there can be a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of things that you're doing, stuff that you're in charge of too, like calls that you have to make. Having Four of Swords is going to be a time of rest for you, where you feel like you can fully recharge. So then when you have to be, it's like time off, so then when you have to be on, you're like 100% there. And so again, you can like keep holding up your end of things. Okay, now I'm seeing something going on here that I'm recognizing. You can feel like what's coming to light is there being some lack of balance. Disappointment about something, maybe not feeling like fair or not feeling equal. It can be like, I had these expectations and those expectations were not met, like that type of thing. Feels like it specifically has to do with the dynamic that you have with this person, like something going on within the relationship. I get the feeling that somebody may have actually been more, I almost feel like this is the energy of the Queen of Cups and not yours. And I'm wondering if this person that's in the energy of the Queen of Cups was like looking to you and wanting something emotionally when you were like maybe in a different place than that. Like maybe you needed a break, or maybe you needed to like catch your breath, or you're like, I need to recharge right now. And this person, the Queen of Cups, could have been looking to you to like initiate something or provide something. This can go both ways though. Like you could have felt like you needed something from the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups could have felt like they needed something from you. It can be that type of thing. Because these energies are archetypally like very different from one another, you may naturally feel like you operate at times in a different way than this other person does, and vice versa. So it can be difficult at times to like make things work because of having to put in an extra effort for that. Not that it can't work, it can work, but there are things that need to be, just like any relationship, things that need to be worked on. So there can be realistic expectations, not just I assume you do things the way that I do. It's more so like, what is your way of doing things and how do you show up? And also communication about our own needs as well, and also our own abilities to do things, and then also our own limitations, that also being something important as well. Taking a break to collect oneself, feeling like one even needs to process emotionally what they're going through. Once that is finished, I'm seeing that there's a moving forward into more of a like playful, passionate energy, even with Knight of Wands here. There can also be like, maybe this has nothing to do with your relationship and one of you could be going through something that you're feeling disappointed by. I do feel like it more so has to do with the relationship, but that is also a possibility. Somebody could have also like had their response to feeling like this. This is like, I feel sad, like I'm feeling upset about something, like that did not meet sort of what I was thinking was going to be happening. And then having 8 of Wands can be like reacting very quickly to this, like maybe not wanting to sit with this and wanting to react very quickly and moving in the direction of the Knight of Wands. This can be another person, like this can be a third party sort of entering the scene, but this can also just be somebody shifting into a different energy. We'll see. I'll let you know if I see what this other energy is, if this is just embodying a different energy or if this is like a whole other person. Okay. For the King of Wands, I'm seeing things be very solid. So you have King of Wands showing up. You have 4 of Swords, which is like getting to a grounded place, making sure that one is doing what they need to, like for their self-care, fully recharging so they can show up. And then you also have the 10 of Pentacles as well, which is, it's a symbol of stability and things being secure and just things being how they're supposed to be, like things being in the place that they're supposed to be. Okay. 10 of Pentacles and 4 of Wands to me is like a relationship that is sort of like the way that it's meant to be or the way that we've planned for it to be. 10 of Pentacles can be, this feels ideal, this feels stable, and 10 of Pentacles also indicates something being able to like last a long time because of its stability intrinsically. And I see 4 of Wands most of the time as a relationship. So it's usually like a marriage, a relationship, something where there's like a sense of commitment, more in a long-term type of way or in a more serious type of way. So yeah, I would see this as being like a more long-term relationship. Where things like generally function as they're expected to. Because of that, it looks like Temperance coming out may mean that you could be working through something with this person to sort of get things back on track or the way that it's supposed to be. 10 of Pentacles and 4 of Wands can show the potential of you can have stability and things being like long-term with this person. But Temperance can be like, I need to be patient with the process of something. I need to take my time. I need to adapt and adjust. Like when things shift this way, we got to counterbalance it that way. It's a card of adaptability, and it's also a card of transmutation of energy. In order to keep things harmonious, in order to keep things stable and working as they need to. So rather than it being like a stagnant things are just like this and we don't really move things around. It's like life naturally moves things around and we can show up in different energies all the time. It feels like, how do you and this person balance each other out? And this feels like that, figuring out how to do exactly that. This card also represents Sagittarius, and I'm also seeing Gemini here too. This feels too, with Temperance, the feeling that I get is like knowing that things can work and work well. And so being willing to put in the work to make sure that things are running the way that they're supposed to, because you know that they can. Like, that is the potential of things to be working properly, and for this to be a long-term investment that's worth investing in, because it's something that is of high value to the both of you. So yeah, I wonder, having this King of Wands be connected with the Four of Swords, this can be somebody that's usually like out and about and really active, and they have to take care of themselves right now. Like, this can be somebody that's like has an injury or something, so they're less active right now. Like, everything is good and they're good, but it can just be like, I need to take care of myself right now. But having 10 of Pentacles is like, I'm doing this for the longevity, not only of myself, but also of our relationship. And also the things that matter to me as well, speaking from the place of the King of Wands. So yeah, normally this is somebody that can be very like take charge and active and stuff like that. And again, because of the Four of Swords, this can be a time where this person needs to recover, where this person needs to rest, where this person needs to make sure that they get back to 100% so they can like show up and do their thing. But they could be, because of needing to do that, there can be something that kind of shifted now. It can just be something that's going on, but this feels temporary. This feels like it has to do specifically with somebody maybe being in a recovery period of some sort, where they have to focus on like being still and resting, because that's what Four of Swords is like, taking the break, like not doing anything because of knowing that the rest is important. And King of Wands can feel like somewhat restless within that, because King of Wands likes to be busy, 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 you know, moving around, doing things like, that's so exciting, I'm gonna do that, like I want to take charge of this. You know, it's somebody that really has a lust for life and likes to have things going on, because that's what sort of like feeds them. So to have Four of Swords can be difficult at times, because it's like the need for inactivity, so recovery can take place, and so they can be 100%. But because that's happening, having Six of Pentacles, which feels like the dynamic within the relationship between these two energies, like something can happen where somebody is like feeling sad about something, feeling disappointed about things. For some of you, the Four of Swords and Five of Cups can be like, I didn't want to have to rest right now. I wanted to be active right now. I wanted to be moving around right now. Like, I hate that I have to be still. It can be that type of thing that's happening. So there can be something that's going on, like an emotional component that's happening within these two energies. Queen of Cups energy is also one that is connected with healing, even like metaphysical healing. So that can also be something that's being embraced as well. Four of Swords having to rest. Five of Cups can be like, I'm disappointed about that. I want it to be running all around. But this needs to happen in order to then be able to like function once again and be able to step once again into the energy of the Knight of Wands. So if you have to do some type of recovery right now, for those of you that are resonating with the energy of the King of Wands, you need to make sure that you're fully like giving that to yourself, so you can be 100% once again, and that will happen. Even though you can feel like sad about having to take the time to do this now, it's going to be so you can be back like 100%, maybe even better than you were before, and then you'll be in this energy. It's like sprucing up is what this feels like. Yeah, I guess sometimes there can be this like wanting to move around or be active, but it can be coming from a place of needing to do some emotional stuff. Because at this time, having these two energies come out here, there can be some like heavy energetic stuff that has to be balanced. But having the devil come out here can be like, this is hard for me right now, and there's a part of me that wants to sort of bypass the stuff that I need to do. So there can be like maybe a quick fix or an easy fix, because it's not really going to be. That could potentially be like a bit of a workaround, but I'm not actually seeing that be the thing. The caution with the devil is like, don't take some type of shortcut and then be surprised when it doesn't actually reap the results that actually doing this the proper way would do. But there can be a temptation to do exactly that. So one may feel like, I'm trying to escape emotionally because I'm having a hard time being present. Some of you, this can be your partner that you're working with. Some of you, this can be another aspect of you that emotionally may be feeling like a little bit neglected, or just really needing you to like show up for yourself here with this. But yeah, there could be a part of you. It can be something like, if these are dynamics within you, there may be a part of you that for your emotional and mental health, you like to exercise, and right now you can't exercise. And so there are other coping strategies that you have to use because like maybe your body isn't working like it normally does, and you have to take some sort of break so you can be 100% again. But if you don't respect that and you try to push it, like you're going to injure yourself further. Or it can be like taking something to try to numb it so I can like get back in action, and then the same thing is going to happen, you know? Or it can be like, let me try to like avoid and do this other thing instead. And it all comes back to needing to make sure, like, you can't really, you know, it can be this thing of, I have things to do and I have things that I want to do, and I'm putting so much pressure and stress on that. Like, I'm putting so much of a focus on that then I'm not taking care of things for myself from the energy of the Queen of Cups, which is me nurturing myself, healing myself, soothing myself. There is a part of me that has a hard time connecting with my feminine energy in that way. And so I'm overactive within my masculine fire energy. And so now that I can't be bypassing within my masculine fire energy, I'm left to deal with something emotionally. And because I'm struggling to do that, because I'm still working on that skill set within myself, there's a part of me that wants to take an easy way out so I don't have to do the work. So it feels like something that is coming up. And this is where like addiction can come into play. Queen of Cups and the Knight of Wands and the Devil, things that would be like addictive, that would be like, I'm trying to soothe myself, but like not doing it the right way, like not doing it in a way that you're actually going to be healing, but more so just bypassing symptoms, but not getting to the root of it, not getting to the catalyst. So this is like a relationship dynamic that you're working on within yourself, trying to deal with the disappointment of, I have to rest right now, or I can't be like running around and doing all of this stuff. I'm dealing with feeling upset about this, and that's again where this emotional support that you give to yourself and or that you get from another person around you, but it's going to come back to what you give to yourself. You can be like, now I'm going through something emotionally that's difficult to deal with, and there's a part of me that wants to lean back into my fire masculine energy. Is it redundant that I'm saying that? Well, I mean, at the same time, this is the King of Wands, and so it's like a double masculine energy, not only because it's fire, but also because it's a king. So this is like a lot of masculine energy that one wants to be in, where it's like initiate, do things, do things, do things. The feminine is the resting and the sitting and the recovering and the healing. So because of being like a bit out of touch at times, or like less developed within that, this is a time where this relationship is supposed to be worked on between the two of these energies. So they're both showing up and doing the thing that they need to do to support one another. These energies within you. So you get broken off from like your normal routine. King of Wands can't be as active as they normally are. There has to be a period of rest. When the rest comes, they're sitting. I can't busy myself, I can't distract myself, and now I have to sit with what's going on emotionally. But there's a part of me that's feeling really restless, and I'm uncomfortable, and I don't want to sit with this emotionally. And that's why the devil is appearing, because it's like there may be a way that you could deal with this that would not actually be dealing with it. It could be bypassing. And so it can be, when I say bypassing, you can avoid doing this emotional work here, sitting with your emotions, bypass that, to skip that and be like, no, I'm feeling better, you know, like let me have a drink like now so I can get outside of my emotions. And you know, like everything with moderation. I'm not demonizing drinking, but this is more so from a space of just an example of we can do things that numb us, or numb us enough so that we don't have to deal with that sitting with the uncomfortable emotions, and then we don't process them, and then they're still very much there, and then they manifest in other ways, and it creates a break. It can create very much a disharmony that you'll end up having to go back and deal with anyway. So this is your guides being like, if you sit with this now, if you deal with this now and work through it, it's going to demagnetize the devil, like that temptation that you may be feeling to bypass. You're going to be working with yourself and honoring these different aspects of yourself that are coming up so you can work with them and transmute the energy. And if you sit with this now, it will be integrated, and then it's not going to be a thing. But this can be a point where there can be that break if you do bypass, which it will always be there until you come back and integrate it, but you can just integrate it now. But you're going to have to actually be with it rather than avoid it in order to make that happen. So yeah, as much as this can be a relationship between you and another person, it's very much what's going on within you, all of it. And yes, it can also be reflected within an interpersonal situation that you have. So yeah, if you sometimes, even if it's like, it can be slight, it can be severe, but if you have like avoidant tendencies when it comes to like avoiding certain emotions by being busy, it can be a time where these things are coming up because it's time to integrate these aspects of yourself and to be more present to yourself emotionally and to do that work in order to keep things steady. Because it feels like before maybe things were working as they are, but now that there has to be some type of adjustment because everybody's not functioning in the same way anymore. There's been some type of like break from routine, it seems like, of what's usual. Now there needs to be an adjustment that's being made, and it feels like there's a proper way that you can adjust this, and there may be an improper way that you can adjust this, or like ineffective way that you can adjust this that would not actually adjust much of anything but be the beginning of a bigger problem that would manifest. And needing to work with yourself through this. And this can be something that feels very challenging for oneself. Maybe the being busy and always having energy isn't the challenging part. Maybe it's the processing emotionally that's the challenging part. And it feels too like this is important because it's a time when you have to take like the best care of yourself possible and also deal with that. Deal with everything emotionally that comes up that's associated with being in this position currently so you can properly heal or recover. Anything else? Avoidance of dealing with things emotionally can definitely push you in the direction of the devil for sure, and it can be something that it's like, this is my impulsive way of dealing with this, of dealing with not dealing with this, like that type of thing. And you can feel in certain ways like maybe you feel a little bit lost, or like you lost some type of stability that you had. This can also be the other person feeling that way. Like maybe you created some type of stability for them, maybe in more ways than one, and now they're also dealing with that too. So this can also be you looking at a partner, and they can be really having a hard time going through something emotionally, and maybe you're seeing something that they're like escaping or something more often, or leaning more in that direction, you know, like wanting to do things in a way where it's not moderated anymore in order to try to compensate, but then it's not actually like doing anything for the catalyst and where this is coming from. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.